Hey, what's happening? It's Bill Smith. It's been a little bit since I posted, so I figured I'd make another video. The last one was about Tom Hanks and all kinds of weird rumors about him, his creepy Instagram, his creepy Twitter, his ties to Jeffrey Epstein. Well, anyway, Ricky Gervais, who's a pretty good comedian, just did a presentation or whatever for one of these stupid ass award shows. Anyway, he says some Epstein joke, and then they cut to Tom Hanks, and Tom Hanks makes a stupid face. And we're going to take a look at this because it's pretty much going crazy. I didn't think it would be this big of a deal, but there's some people that have been really mean to Tom Hanks on his Twitter account. So knock it off, guys. All right, but before I tell you about that, I want to say that in the news over the Christmas vacation, there was a lot of anti-Semitic, quote-unquote, anti-Semitic attacks in New York City. In one example, two young black women said they beat up on a young Jewish man, except for they were only 26 and he was 24. And I figure 24 is you're a man anyway. So these two young ladies, 26-year-old young ladies in New York City, like grabbed his phone, broke it in half, and threw it back at him. So they arrested her, and I was like, that never happens, ever. But there was a whole bunch of them. There was like an attempted stabbing, then there was a shooting like a month ago. And what all these have in common, a string of these, other things, people getting kicked and punched on the street randomly. A few years ago, it was the knockout game, all about getting a hold of some elderly white couple in their 80s walking down the street to the hardware store. Now it's about getting Jewish people in New York City. And they finally started naming the race of these people that are doing it, and it's mostly black people. And I think that's really weird because they won't name the race about anything on the news. That's been done for like 10 or 15 years. So they've come out and said it. They keep saying Jews are being attacked in New York City and it's black people doing it. So if you know a black person, you can tell them about this. It is the Cohen and Moses slave auction. I promise we're going to get right back to Tom Hanks, but you should know this. Okay? This is one of the bigger slave trading get-ups, in early American history, and it was owned by two Jewish men named Moses and Cohen. And there's all you got to do is type it in. There's a bunch of articles and all these, here's an auction for it, They were selling a Negro wench, about 30 years of age, a good cook, washer and ironer, and a faithful servant. And a Negro man, about 48 years of age. So whatever. I just find it interesting that nobody knows about this. So if you got a black friend, tell them about this. Also, I don't care who you are. I just want to make that clear. I'm not a racist. I do want to protect the American culture, whatever we think that is. So as long as you're America first, man, you're all right with. I'm all right with you. If you're all right with me. Here's another thing interesting. Check this out. The first person in the United States to legally own a permanent person as a slave. The first legal slave owner in the United States was a man named Anthony Johnson. Now, the strange part about Mr. Johnson was he was a black guy, a black Angolan, like straight from Africa, first generation. And there's no pictures of him in here because they removed it. But he is black. And he enslaved another black man. And that is the first legal slave-owning court case. Let's see if we can find a picture of him. That's him right there. Look at it. Why do you not know this? Why does nobody know that, there were some Jews that owned a bunch of slave auctions, and the first person to enact legal slavery was a black man over another black man. And by the way, okay, if you go read about early slavery, whites could not own a black person as a slave until like 15 years after this. In the beginning, only blacks, Africans, could own other Africans, blacks. That's a head scratcher. That, I think, would change a lot of people's perspectives on things like reparations. You know? What's racism? What is it? You know? It's always this moving target, always means something else. I think it just means being mean to one group of people based on an in-group, out-group preference based on your skin color. There's only like 4 races, man. Everything else is nationality or mix, whatever. So Tom Hanks. All right. First thing that I saw was there's a bunch of Tom Hanks stuff in other languages, and the other languages say some bad stuff, some naughty things. So we can look for Tom Hanks P. There's Tom Hanks Pedophilo. I think that's probably something for, what it sounds like. There's Tom Hanks Pizzagate and Tom Hanks Pedowood, all with P. Let's just look up Tom Hanks. There's Tom Hanks, Ricky Gervais, who basically rapes these people comedically. Let's go to Tom Hanks' account. I was looking at this. I was really impressed with you guys. Because people dogpiled him pretty quickly. Here's another. Man, this guy is such a creep, man. He is such a creep. Starting 2020 as an honorary citizen of all of Greece. Here's the weird shadow man. Shadow stuff. We want your trial to be televised, Hank. That performance will be your legacy. There's a bunch of there's Mr. Barr, Mr. William Barr doing some prosecuting. Okay, now this is it. This is what I was going to tell you. Well, I found a whole bunch of these things, so I'm just going to go through them. But this is where I saw the first one. Someone took his face from that Golden Globes Ricky Gervais roasting speech and made a meme out of it. So this one says, when you get called a pedophile in front of all your Hollywood pedophile buddies. I know, it's a bummer. Wah, wah, wah. Okay, hang on. Let me get the list. Okay, as you can see, I found a bunch of them. Okay, now shout out to the man. This is the guy that made it happen. This is Ricky Gervais. I think I said that right. And someone put a Q post over the top of this. And it says, should we tell all the good people watching the day and time, red carpet rollout? Think logically the world is watching. There were some Q posts again about something big was about to happen. And that was like 2 weeks ago, a week and a half before this happened. I think. I can go check. You can check, whatever. I kind of don't follow Q posts super close anymore. Okay, so this is the screen grab they got from it. Right? Live TV. Cut over to his face right after an Epstein joke. And then someone memed it. So, good thing I brought up my pilot. Sorry, good thing I brought my pilot and got that Greek citizenship, which we just saw. Is that true? Does Greece have an extradition policy? I imagine they do because they're part of the EU. Someone said that. Here's the thing about, I thought playing Mr. Rogers would fool everyone. I know, totally. It was a career reboot, trying their best to play to boomer sensibilities. I wonder if Colin has the red handkerchiefs in stock. Better watch out, Ricky. You get a little too close to the flame there, you might get burned a little bit more. Might catch that. Might commit suicide with a red rope. Like all those other designers, and who else did that? Anthony Bourdain, the guy from Lincoln Park, the Podesta progeny son. All right, anyway. Here's another one. It's a good cat meme. I don't understand this one. It's funny, though. That face you make when you hear a pedo joke, knowing that you are a pedophile and about to be exposed to the world. I know. We'll see what happens. Here's one. Hey, by the way, I don't know if you know this, but there was this cartoon called Murdoch, and I don't think they're going to make any more. Post in the comments if you know anything about that. I don't follow that cartoon closely, but I know what it is, and I think I read that somewhere. It says, when you flew the Lolita Express and get called out on live TV. Enemy of the people. That's Tom Hanks. Ha ha. So I tried to verify this. I don't know if that's true or not. There is a TH initials in the registry book for the airplane or whatever, but I couldn't see Tom Hanks like all spelled out. He was in memes about it though, so maybe somebody knows something that I don't or didn't read. Now this one I didn't get. Is he signaling somebody? Your guess is as good as mine. There is a very bad person right there. I don't know her name. You know her name though. Hocus Pocus. That's all I'm gonna say. I showed you that. Okay, so here's a pretty good one. Dark humor guy, Ricky Gervais. Civilian, not taking it well, and veteran. This is a normie meme. So it was like a moment, you know? Like it's in the sphere right now. Everybody's thinking about it. The morphic field. Everyone's thinking, why does Tom Hanks look so goddamn awfully weird at this Golden Globe celebration after someone just said a joke about Jeffrey Epstein and flying on his airplane? You know, touching kids and stuff maybe. And just like that, the world knew I was a pedo. That is, I think, what is happening in the morphic field right now. Tom, did you know? Did you know, Tom? Inquiring minds would like to know. So, here's another one. It says, just like that, Ricky Gervais exposed all of U.S. Hollywood. Ricky Gervais exposed all of us Hollywood pedophiles on live TV. And you saw his face, man. I mean, that's what it looks like. That's what it looks like. You know, the only one I didn't get was the one with, what's his name, with the flak jacket boob grab. That's the only one I didn't get. But I'm sure someone will meme that one now, too. This is a moment. If you want to make memes, they're real easy. Smash this stuff out on Instagram and Twitter and wherever else you want to talk to your buddies at. Here's one. This is a Ricky Gervais one. It says, waiting for Pedowood to give a comeback after last night's roast. They might not ask for him back. I don't think he cares, though. This is unrelated, but I saw it in there. Here's a picture of somebody. I don't know who it is. With his hand, like basically just full on breast cupping a very, very young looking woman. And it says, imagine all the kids who come to Hollywood to make it in an old man's bed or couch. And it turns out that was a picture of Katherine Heigl. Is that her name? Heigl? I heard no one wants to work with this girl anymore. I don't know what she did wrong, but that was a picture of her. Let me go back. That. So that's happening there. And then here she is, a big movie star. It's amazing how that works. You got to get it in early for your stock drops when you turn 16. All right, so there's just a couple more of these left. I'll get through them. The face Hollywood makes when they've been called out to be the hypocrite they are. Yep. We're doing Tom Hanks memes. I think that's the last one. Yep, that was the last one. All right, so I'm back on Tom Hanks' Twitter account. We're just looking over stuff. A few weeks ago, I started noticing that he blocks a lot of people now. I mean, there's a tweet there. You can't read it. I'm sure you can find it. Maybe it shows up. But people are like all over this guy now. That movie, The Man with One Red Shoe, that kind of got tossed around in here a little bit. I mean, you can read these tweets. So these are bad, man. This guy was a squeaky clean A-list actor, the squeakiest of the squeaky. Nobody knows who molested the two Coreys. They never would name a name on that one. I wonder if it was this guy, you know? I just wonder. I don't have any proof. It's just a question I was asking myself earlier. Thought I'd ventilate that one. Let me know what you think, man. Post in the comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts. I think this guy's stuff is creepy. At the very least, it's creepy. Come on. Right? This is weird stuff. Let this be the final lost pacifier of 2019. Let's read this one. See if there's any... We know, Tom, it's over. It's over, Hanks. Trip code stuff. Someone put this meme together. Mazes and Monsters. That was what was in the movie, the big movie. These are all the people on Jeffrey Epstein's plane. There's a bunch of people on there. There's a big list. But I am out of time for now. Look how Ellen's background looks like Jeffrey Epstein's celebration temple. Till next time, this is Bill Smith. Thanks for watching.